maintenance of this panel, Elio from Priority 1.
Good morning, Captains. I'm Elijah of Priority 1 Podcast, a Roddenberry Star Trek podcast, and I welcome you this morning to celebrate Star Trek Online, the critically acclaimed, massively multiplayer online role-playing game set in the Star Trek universe, and now boldly going into the age of discovery. And we have a lot to cover, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you some of the developers from Cryptic Studios. Lead ship and UI artist, Thomas Baroni. Art director, Julie Gates. And lead designer, Al Rivera. Well, welcome, gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, before we talk about the latest announcement, Al, why don't you give us a brief overview of what Star Trek Online is?
Sure. Okay. How many people here have played Star Trek Online? Who here doesn't know anything about Star Trek Online and just wants to see our special guest? Okay, so Star Trek Online is a massively multiplayer online game. You can play it on PC, Xbox One, or PlayStation 4. You can play either with as a Federation, the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Republic, or even the TOS era as a TOS captain. There are dozens of races that you can choose from and hundreds of starships. In Star Trek Online, you are the captain, and you build your ship, your crew, and you customize them, and you go on missions and adventures throughout the galaxy, and visit iconic locations like Deep Space Nine, the Delta Quadrant, Kronos, or Penthe, Vulcan, pretty much every place you can think of, plus hundreds of locations that we've never seen before on the show. We have been privileged to have dozens of actors from the show join us and lend their voice, and you get to go on missions and explore their story alongside them. Most importantly, Star Trek Online is free to play. It's free to play right now, and you can go home and download it for your PC, your Xbox One, or PlayStation 4, and play right now for free.
Now, you talk a lot about going on these journeys with some of the actors. Tell us about Age of Discovery and how that's going to come into play.
Right, so that's the real exciting news. So Star Trek Online starts, the primary storyline is in 2409, which is about 30 some odd years after Nemesis. But we represent all eras of Star Trek, including the Kelvin timeline, the TOS time, Enterprise time. We can go into the future with, say, the Battle of Procyon 5 and the Wells class timeline. But now we've been working really closely with the writers of Discovery, including Alex Kurtzman and Kirsten Beyer, and now we're going to bring Discovery to the forefront of Star Trek Online. And to kick that off, we are humbled and honored and so excited that Mary Wiseman will be joining us to kick off Star Trek Discovery for Star Trek Online.
Absolutely exciting. But what's more exciting is that we are honored to have her join us on stage right now. Ladies and gentlemen, actress Mary Wiseman. Mary, thank you so very much for joining us here on stage today. How are you doing, first of all?
Amazing.
We understand that you're busy with season 2, and as much as we'd like to ask you all those questions, we're going to talk about Age of Discovery here in Star Trek Online. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement with Star Trek Online and what your part will be?
Well, I'll be playing the part of Tilly. She's going to be, it's at a time when she's still at the Academy, and she's still got that exuberance and that sort of green quality we love in Tilly so much. And she'll kind of like lead you through this experience. It's going to also take place at the same time as the Battle of the Binary.
Just after
The Battle. That's actually what I said, but. The Battle of the Binary Stars, and so there's going to be that exuberance of school and also the anxiety and tension of escorting the war.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, why don't we take a little look at what the team's been working on so far? You might be able to see it right there.
That's me.
That's awesome so far, seriously.
It's very early work in progress, just we're currently working on that right now.
That's amazing.
So what do you think now that you're going to be immortalized in a video game?
It's so surreal. I don't know. I don't understand how this has happened.
Well, Bill, I want to turn to you for a second. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it takes to take a live person and digitize it?
So it's kind of creepy actually how we started. We get so many photos of you, and they're all. I mean, you got a little bit of it in the video now, where one of his monitors was just got picture after picture after picture, and just trying to find all the characteristics you have. We'll look at you, and then capture those in digital form in the game. So when people play the game, they have that immersive value that they can see, and they're like, wow, this is so cool. I'm here. There's Tilly. It actually is Tilly. So. And it's a challenge too. We were hoping to have maybe a little further along, but you know, good things are worth waiting for. So you guys you'll have to jump in when the expansion launches later this year and check it out.
Now, Mary, when you were approached by Cryptic Studios to lend your voice to the video game, a game that has millions of players all around the world, what was your reaction?
It's just like, and nothing makes sense. Again, it was just like, why? What? How is this happening? How am I here in my life? And it was pretty exciting. My fiance loves to play video games. He's a big Star Trek fan, so he was like really, really pumped about the prospect of playing a video game with me in it. But it's hard to wrap your mind around. This being like the primary reaction.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about your experience being a part of such an amazing franchise with 50 years of history?
It's crazy. I mean, I'm gobsmacked. It's you never really get over the initial like surprise and joy from finding out to get to be part of something like this. I drove over here with like Marine Circus and LeVar Burton, and he was like, "Hi, I'm LeVar," and I was like, "I know." It's like the idea that I get to be around these people that I grew up watching that were important to me, and that I'm part of that and will do that for other people is it's incredible. I'm so humbled and grateful.
I mean, you truly are an inspiration. I mean, it wasn't long ago that you were in Juilliard, correct?
Yeah.
And now you are on this remarkable journey, an inspiration to young actors and young women all over the world.
Oh, that's sweet.
Now, Cadet Tilly has really woven herself into the hearts of many Trek fans. Hashtag Silly for Tilly. Did you ever anticipate that level of attachment to Tilly?
No, but it's so beautiful. Every time I see someone dressed up as Killy or Tilly, or someone reaches out to me online, or I get to meet people, every time it's deeply meaningful to me. It's moving and it's crazy, and I never ever expected it, but it means everything to me.
Well, we made a shirt. You should definitely own the Silly for Tilly t-shirt.
Everybody just make sure that starts trending, all right?
Yes. Make sure that trends, guys. Make sure that trends.
All your STLV tweets, Tilly for Tilly.
We'll chat.
So, Bill, I want to go talk a little bit about costumes in Star Trek Online. I think we have a slide coming up here. These are the Discovery uniforms as well as the EV suits. When working with a live-action franchise right now that's currently on screen, do you have different approaches when bringing these assets into the game?
Well, there's a ton of different ways that you can generate these types of assets. Typically, what we do is we get a ton of reference from both CBS and from watching the show itself. That guy with the camera right there in front, Nick, he's a master at finding reference from the show. Yeah, he's one of our artists. But we get tons of reference from the show, and we just try to get every angle, every aspect, and then once we get it, we have a pretty standard approach to generating 3D assets where we create a high-res 3D sculpt, which is kind of technical, sorry. But it's like a mold of clay is the way to think of it, and then we can take that and then boil it down to what you see on the screen there, which is the actual runtime asset in the game. And it's super, super fun to for all of our artists to replicate what you see in the show in the game. It's like the people we have on the team are incredibly passionate about that.
Now, costumes aren't the only thing that you're bringing into the game from Discovery. We're also going to be seeing new species, or species rather, that have been reimagined for the television series. I think we have some of the props, and now, for instance, the new Andorian. What about bringing those to life in Star Trek Online?
So we're actually really excited about some of the new looks. The Andorian there being one of them, where they really try to, I think, push the alien nature of what the Andorians are in the series. And we have the same artist who is doing the likeness of Mary, also did this one. And it was really exciting to work with him and see how you look at the show and you're like, oh, that's such a cool looking Andorian now. And then I walk over to his desk like a week later, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's such a cool Andorian. So, every day, the art guys on the team and gals, they do such awesome work. And the stuff like what you see on the screen there, it's something we do, we're passionate about it. And if you guys see any of the guys over at the booth, come over and talk to us. We can tell you about how how much fun it is to make the game and get into probably a little bit more details than I should up here on the podium.
Mary, what are your thoughts? Is that pretty authentic to what you saw on set?
That looks exactly like the guy. Exactly, it's amazing. You guys are brilliant.
Now, are we?
No, I just met him in like the makeup trailer, but he seemed very cool. Sandorian. I'm gonna go now.
Bill, what other species might we see?
Oh, geez. Well, obviously, yeah, Klingons. Yeah, the Klingons actually was a pretty challenging, a lot of people don't realize, you can see in the picture there up on the screen, the back of their head is crazy. But one of our really good character artists named Jonathan, he did that Klingon male, and we also, you'll be seeing Klingon females as well. Yeah, they are, geez, I'm trying to think of the right word. Yeah, they're awesome.
It's awesome. One of the things that doesn't really help is that there are 12 Klingon houses and they all have their own uniform and they're ridiculously complex.
No, we had many conversations about which one are we going to show, and then we're like, well, let's start with one, and then can we get to two, and then we get to three? Yeah, it's crazy. And then it comes back to that tremendous amount of reference gathering that we have to do to capture the side view, the back view, the front view. We don't have the advantage of film where the camera can hide things. We have to show it from every single angle. So it's a challenge but fun.
Now, if we go to the next slide, we may get a chance to look at the new big baddie that is coming to Star Trek Online. Al, why don't you tell us a little bit about who players are going to have to face?
So we're really excited about this. That is Ja'ula, and Ja'ula is the sister of T'Kuvma. Ja'ula is from the Discovery comics written by Mike Johnson, as well as Kirsten Byers works on that as well. And so she is from House Mokai, and House Mokai is a matriarchy. So we're going to see a lot of badass female Klingons in Age of Discovery. And she's going to basically be your nemesis, your foil. We're going to meet her in the very beginning in the tutorial. And so Tilly's going to meet her too. Well, she's really intimidating. Yeah, she is scary. But what's really, really awesome, and this is what I can't emphasize enough, is how much that Alf Kurtzman and Kirsten Beyer is working with us and saying, what can we do to help you? And says, you know, we need a bad guy, and so we're just going to do, well, okay, we'll do a female thing on. They're like, hey, take Jalula, right? We've got a story backstory for her in the comics. We know a lot about her already. Go ahead and take that character. And that's amazing that we can do that kind of crosswork across all the different media.
Be sure to pick up those ideas in the comments.
So I've actually got kind of a funny anecdote about her. We were trying to get that look. You guys, you know, she looks like she pretty much wants to kill you, and you're not worth the gum on the bottom of her shoe. I'm going to you guys get that look. But the first look we had, she was grimacing, but she looked like a Colgate teeth model. We're like, no, they don't have good teeth. And then we made her like close her mouth, and then she looked like she was like smelling something bad. And then, so we were going. I mean, we were going. We're like, no, and then we got to this look, and it was just like, yes. She's, you know, you're not worth the time of day, and she really wants to either make you into a slave or exterminate you or get rid of you. It was a fun journey to get to that look.
So, any other surprise species we might see in the game?
Maybe, yeah.
It's tardigrade.
The tardigrade, or you know, as we call it, the ripper.
That's right. That was a big program.
Oh my God, did somebody say the river?
Ladies and gentlemen, great to start. Thank you so much. So, hold on a second. Does this mean that Rick is going to be in the game too?
Age of Discovery, sometime early next year, and we're super excited. I've gotten very fortunate to get to know Rachel a little bit over the convention, and I'm super stoked. She's a wonderful lady.
So, Brady is going to be immortalized in the game. How does that make you feel?
This face, I think that probably says it all. I'm like, cool. I don't even understand. I can't wait to see it. I love the idea that people will get to play with me, as me.
With you, not as you.
I like playing.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Now, you're no stranger to the science fiction genre. You know, after a very successful run of Battlestar Galactica as Tori Foster, the final fight. Talk to us about this new journey into Star Trek and how that's been for you.
Oh my God, it's been amazing I screamed like a little girl when I found out I got cast to be in Star Trek. Something I've been watching since I was a child is phenomenal. I used to come home after school and eat milk and cookies and watch Star Trek. It was the first thing I saw as a little girl in a brown girl, sorry, I'm a little tired, in a very white neighborhood. That it showed me the possibilities for the future, that maybe everybody wouldn't be racist one day. It's like super cool.
I can tell you when we signed both of you, I screamed like little girls.
Well, you'll no doubt now be and continue to be an inspiration for other actors, as I was telling Mary. Young women actors, young aspiring actors. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Really excited.
We really hope that we don't have any serious fears of little tiny bears, or tardigrade bears. So, speaking of iconic ships, as we mentioned earlier with Battlestar Galactica, now we're going to go back to Star Trek Online. I want to ask Thomas a few questions about his ship designs. Thomas, you're the talented craftsman that helped bring these ships to life. How is making art from this new show different from art based on the previous iterations of Trek?
You know, it's really challenging. So on the screen there we have the Walker class USS Shenzhou, modeled by Donnie Versace in the audience there. You know, Discovery is brand new, and for most of Star Trek Online's history, we've been working with shows and material that's, you know, ranges from 50 to 30 years old. So we have, you know, like 20 or 30 years of fan debate online about how big is this? What does this hatch lead to? You know, what do these details mean? But we don't have that for Discovery, so pretty much everything we get, we have to get from CBS and other CBS licensed partners when we're looking to recreate these ships. And thankfully, CBS has been really great to us. We've reached out, we've been working with Eagle Moss to get access to some of their digital files for not just the ships, but also for the tardigrade as well. And it's made a huge difference. It's thrilling to be able to use the actual Starship models from the show and just build our game model around that, so you know it's going to be super accurate and super faithful to what they've seen when you watch Discovery.
I got a little anecdote about the CrossFit class of Discovery. CBS sent us the model before it was seen on screen, before it did its mycelium network jump.
Before the show actually aired.
And when in the game, all our ships usually do something cool. So John has it from CBS, is there anything interesting the ship does that we should know about? And he's like, it was really cool. And he's like, well, we'll just have to wait and see. And he sends us the actual, what do you call them? What do you call them off?
The picture we're looking at with the orthographic renders.
They actually sent you the Geo.
Yeah.
And we can move the ship move.
Right.
And it says, oh, okay, I think we kind of have an idea about what's going on there, so we maybe we can model that, and then we saw it jump a couple of years later.
So did those animations present a specific challenge for you to have to work on something like that?
Yeah, I mean, adding animations to ships is always a challenge. We have a great animator on the team named Weston, who does our ship animations as well as our character animations. He did a phenomenal job in Victory's Life with all the likenesses and getting like the ticks and stuff for Garrett right, and then he also did animations for our ships. And you know, just we need everybody to pitch in. You know, making ships come alive. It's sort of like making characters come alive. You know, if you think about it, ships in Star Trek are as much of a character as the actors that bring these characters to life. Discovery is a character, right? And so we want to be faithful to that. We want them to behave the way they behave in the show. And so that is a challenge, and a lot of disciplines have to pitch in to make it happen.
There we go. You scared?
What's funny is I now have two of these. Yeah, I have two.
What will you name this one, do you think?
Oh, well, the other one's named Ripper.
Squishy.
Skipper.
Skipper and Ripper. Skipping through the galaxy.
Now, there's some remarkable detail going into the interiors of Star Trek Online as well. Why don't can we take a look at some of those interiors? Because at first, I'd also like to get your opinions on what you've seen on set. Oh, we bring them up. But while we do that, let's talk a little bit about bringing the interiors to life in Star Trek Online. Bill, what has the process been, and how is it different from, again, previous iterations of Star Trek?
So one of the things we first did was, which in some aspects has nothing to do with how it looks, but how the play space, because the environment is what your character moves around in. So we had to go through a process, we call it life boxing, where we had to determine, you know, how much play space do we need to have for the interiors. It's kind of a back and forth and somewhat painful process.
It'd be really awesome.
Yes, yeah. So, anyways, so we went back and forth, and then Donnie, who's sitting right down there, did an amazing job of capturing the feel of that interior. I can remember we sent out like these daily updates, and he sent this daily update where he had like a screenshot from the show and his hallway, and I was like, which one's the screenshot? I couldn't I was on my phone, so But I couldn't tell. I was like, I can't tell. And he did a masterful job of capturing it. And that's what you're going to get to be able to walk around and play and you know, experience Discovery in. It's going to be amazing.
So what we're seeing on the, can you go back one slide, please? So what we're seeing on the left is the actual set, and what we're seeing on the right is the rendered in-game environment, correct?
Yeah.
Right? Can you go to the next slide?
Yeah, if you go to the next slide is a bit harder.
So what we're seeing on the left is actual Discovery images, and what we're seeing on the right is Star Trek Online, correct?
Yeah, Donnie nailed it.
What do you think you were on set? Can you tell the difference?
No. No, it's amazing. And I like live there, so.
No, when it came up on the screen, I was like, what I wanted to say, but other people were talking with, look, Mary, it's our space home.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. You know, working on the set of Discovery. Can you share with us, you know, your experiences and some?
Well, one thing is that I think a lot of people assume that there's like tons of green screen in our work, but especially for me, because I mainly worked in engineering, especially last season, we are working with like tangible sets all the time. So like I brought my parents to set, and I've always pictured them just like touching everything and like trying to figure it out, because it's very real in there, and we spend 13 hours a day shooting there. You know, we live there, and it becomes like sort of like our home. And you know, as engineers, as people work on ships, we anthropomorphize these ships. We love them, we attend them. When they're sick, we make them better. The ship has a voice, so it's like very personal, you know, and it's lovely to see it recreated so accurately, because that's our baby.
You know, I'm curious, as a stage actor, you sometimes get to watch the set go up in the rehearsals, but you start rehearsing on stage. Were you guys rehearsing often, and it was just this one day of walking onto the set and it was complete and it was done, or did you see it progressively be built?
Well, for me, I walked in and it was all done. It was a spaceship. We walked into a spaceship. We rehearse on the ship. We do everything there.
Wow.
Yeah, so we really live there.
Yeah, those first days were incredible. We were all just like so in awe of what's around us.
Yeah.
Those set designers are incredible.
It's out of this world. It's so beautiful and so much care and detail.
Riga, can you give us a bit of a comparison between your experiences on set on Battlestar and then here on Discovery? The two different ships, perhaps?
Yes. One thing that was amazing for me was, even though it was exciting and new, I was so nervous working my first couple days on Star Trek, like more nervous than I've ever been on anything. And you guys know I've been at this for a while, but because of Star Trek, I was just the pressure and it being part of my childhood was huge. And the one thing that I kind of grabbed onto was the set, because even though it was a different ship, it made me feel like I was at home.
Oh.
For being on Battlestar for so long, I was like, okay, this is familiar. I'm in space. I can do this.
On the picture here at the door to, I think it's the turbo lift, on the show, it bugged the hell out of me, that little dent on the bottom.
Yeah, we fixed
Bottom
it.
left part. Fix the dent.
Thanks, Don. Thanks for repairing her.
Now, we really got a glimmer into Landry's past. What stories are you interested in exploring, especially through something like Star Trek Online?
Well, I would like to see more than a glimmer. I would love to know. I feel like Landry has a special distinction, probably in the entire canon. And that's what some hardcore fans have said to me. I'll take their word over mine. The distinction being that she's probably the hardest Starfleet officer we've ever met. And I would really like to know, I have some ideas about how that came to be, but I would love to know more about her origin story, because I think there's probably an amazing journey there. Yeah. So.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, Al, can you add to what we might see in Star Trek Online?
It's a bit off, and we still have a lot of work to do, and a lot of working with CBS. But that's basically the story that we want to tell. We want to tell the origin story of Landry and find out why is she, like you said, so different. I mean, she's a badass, yeah, but Tilly's a badass too in her own way. But
like,
Landry's
nobody's ever called
smart.
anybody garbage before.
Right, I mean, I think it was a really, cold splash of cold water in people's face when they first see Discovery first time, and there's Landry just calling everybody garbage. Why is she so mean? Why is she so hard? And I think there's an important reason. There's some clues in the show that aren't really picked up really well, and we're going to pick up on that and find out why.
And Mary, what about you? Is Captain Killy an adventure you'd like to explore?
Oh yeah, well we only got to see Tilly's idea of Captain Killy, which was interesting because I think it gives you insight into Tilly, but I'd like to know more about this woman who has the same body and mind, who lives in this other universe, who has done all these terrible things, has all these scary names. I'd like to know more about what she's really like, yeah.
Al, might we be able to explore that?
So, if anyone's paying attention to the show, when the USS Discovery jumps from Pablo and Lorca changes the coordinates and they appear in the mirror universe, and later, and I think around episode 13, Admiral Cromwell says, "We saw you get destroyed." What they saw is they saw the ISS Discovery get destroyed. The ISS Discovery and the USS Discovery swapped places, and presumably Killy was on there. But I can confirm today that yes, in around January, for our anniversary, Mary Wiseman's return as Captain Killy, not as Tilly as Killy, but as Captain Killy.
Jump in and say, I'm so excited about that decision, you guys. The concept that, we all talk about nature versus nurture in terms of what makes people who they are. You take the same being, I love that about the mirror world, that you can go, you know what, put this same human being, same DNA in a different environment, and what kind of person do they become? And that's the amazing thing about this online game. There might not be time to go back and explore that in the show itself. But you guys get to do that through this online game. And that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great about what Al Kurtzman is doing, because he's doing it with the books, and he's doing it with the comics, and he's doing it with us and other games, is that your story, the story of Discovery is a very tight, serialized story, and it's fast, it's 13 episodes, and there's so much still that we don't know about a lot of these characters. Why is Arian what she is, right? Her Angela, right? What's up with Saru, and why is he the only Kelpie in Starfleet? And them giving us the option, this is a piece you can have, this is a piece you can have. That it's something we've never been able to do in almost 9 years of Star Trek Online. We've just been kind of making up as we go along, but now we're working in lockstep with them. For instance, part of the story that we'll see about Captain Killy will involve Pablo, because Pablo, that's the last time we presumably know where she was at. And Kirsten Beyer said that there was a thing that she wanted to explore about Pablo, but didn't get to because of story reasons or production reasons, and just kind of, okay, we'll just kind of let that go, and she gave it to us. So it's a little thing, but it's an honor of her and her work to we're going to just kind of touch on. So we get to see Pablo and a little bit more about what it is that she intended that to be, and that's where Mary comes in as Killy. So that's really awesome.
That's super exciting.
Now, Mary, have you already established your own headcanon for who this Captain Killy is?
No. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I mean, when we shot that part, I was playing it as Tilly, sort of accessing aspects of herself that have not come to the surface yet, or that she wasn't exercising regularly. So it'll be a fun acting exercise to go back to step one and actually figure out what this person is like, how this person grew up, how she hardened, what parts she and Tilly share that she accesses to be cruel or strong or powerful. That'll be really interesting for me just as an actor.
And we're gonna love watching you do it because we love you.
Now, I've already mentioned this, you both play strong women who are rightfully empowered on Star Trek. Can you share with us that journey in an industry that, to put it mildly, is terribly unbalanced?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. We're so lucky for the opportunity. You know, even like personally, like a person who looks like me, like I'm not like a thin woman, I'm not like a conventionally attractive woman, but that I have like a place on the ship, that I have things to say, that I have joy, that I have a three-dimensional experience, that I also am powerful, you know, that I have acumen as a soldier. Is like, these are journeys that I didn't know I was going to get the opportunity to travel. I didn't see this for myself. I didn't see myself holding a phaser or standing up to Klingons, or, you know, and everything has been like this amazing gift, and like each moment of that is a surprise, and I think it, you know, it speaks well of the future that women will have occupying these roles both in the world and in the media that reflects our world.
Woo!
I mean, that's why I let her speak first. Right? I was like, I know Mary's gonna have something amazing to say about this, and honestly, as a woman of color, I have different battles to fight, and I am so grateful for my Caucasian white girlfriends who get to fight the battles that I feel like brown girls don't get to fight yet. Yeah. In a way, yeah. You're in a place of privilege where you get to make those strides for colored women first. That's my opinion. I mean, we're doing it kind of, you know, I'm not saying it's that delineated or whatever, but yeah, I do feel that way. I don't think an Indian woman could look the way Frances McDormand did at the Oscars and get away with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what so thank you.
Right, so we are making great strides. There are still more strides to be made, and we're all really aware of that, and we need to support and back up our peers and the people that we love in that journey as well.
Thank you. That's what's really beautiful about Star Trek,
providing their vision and to have, I mean, we saw it, right, in the original series, Interracial Kiss, the like cookie people, I forget what they're called.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so, you know, the race stories there, that's the morality plays in the Star Trek. That is, I see that, you see that continuing in the forefront of Star Trek Discovery. So many powerful women, people of color, people different sexual orientations, right? And we do everything we can in Star Trek Online to continue that with gay couples, with different people, different color, and Discovery. And you see in Discovery so many strong women in the forefront, and we're going to continue that. Mokai and matriarchy is going to end. We've got two powerful, wonderful women here, and I'm very humbled to be on the stage with right now. That will continue that tradition, and hopefully we'll do it justice and tell those stories that we ride and Air Force One.
It's been 50 plus years of Star Trek, and you came into it brand new. Tell us what that preparation was like, and getting ready for the role, and now you're doing a video game, and the stories continue. What's your process in preparing for that? You're watching a lot of all the Trek.
Definitely trying to catch up and watch things that, you know, I didn't catch, you know, just growing up. And
yeah, I mean, in a way, I feel like it's kind of in us. I don't know if you feel this way, but like, you know, that lifetime of watching it, you know, Star Trek is something that I think for all of you and for myself, it's deep in your heart, and you may not know all the details and stuff, but it's got to hit you in your soul for you to get what it's about. And so I feel like we probably started as kids preparing for these roles, you know?
Did you both watch Star Trek growing up?
Yeah.
What did you grow up watching?
Oh, well, as I mentioned in the beginning, I started really young watching TOS rerun, which was amazing, life-changing. It like seriously helped me as a young person. And then I watched some TNG and Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. I'm the only one I didn't watch with them.
I grew up watching Next Generation. My uncle was like really, really into it. He read all the novels, and I've said this before, but he brought like Christmas ornaments that we would put on our tree at like every single ship in every single iteration, and we would like plug in the tree at night, and it would be like, I'm Captain Janeway of the Starship Voyager, and it would be like a chorus. Ornament. So I was definitely immersed in Next Generation, but yeah, my work at trying to become more versed in the other iterations continues, because it's like, it takes like something like 48 days or something to watch the entire season. Is that right? Something like, it's a crazy amount of time, so I'm not there yet.
You start working cryptic on Star Trek Online, that's your first job, is just start watching every single thing you haven't watched already.
Yes, sir.
I'm an employee, so it's like I'm in school every day.
Wow.
What's your engagement been like with fans as you meet them on this new journey?
I mean, it's incredible. I've been doing this for a while, as far as like sci-fi conventions, Battlestar, 100, B. A lot of sci-fi. But the Trek fans are unique. Not only are they like massive, like there's just so many of them. There's so much sweetness. Like I know there's haters out there, but it like the number is small in comparison. There is so much kindness and sweetness and generosity. I love Star Trek fans. I feel so lucky.
I have Star Trek fans in my life. My soon-to-be mother-in-law is enormous Star Trek fan. She has outfits and everything. Like, yeah, obviously my uncle and my family are really into it. So I know how much it means to people, and getting to see that in person with people I haven't met before who aren't in my family is overwhelming and very, very beautiful. And it just exponentially adds meaning to what you do every day. When you meet people whose life has changed, when you see like kids, like it's just very moving. It makes your work feel really important.
You mentioned that you had family who are fans, and you said your mother-in-law has an outfit. Did she ever come to the cons?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so her husband kind of looks like Jonathan Frakes, which was so weird to meet him. But so like she bought him outfits, she makes him dress up, and she dresses up like Troy. She made my fiance dress up as Leslie. There's just like pictures everywhere, like there's blackmail photos everywhere. So for her, like also like I brought her to set, and she's just weeping. It was so beautiful, yeah. And she said after she went on the bridge, she was crying. I had her sit in the captain's chair, and she came away and she said, I feel like I went to church. That gives you a sense of like, she's a psychologist, like her Star Trek is very important in the way she sees the world. So it's just really a beautiful relationship between the fans and the material.
That's an amazing story.
She loves me forever too, because I'm so we're all really working out.
That reminds me, there's the set in Ticonderoga, the original series set, and that's how I felt on that set. Now, I didn't weep, but I'm sure I would weep if I was on the set of this number.
Oh, you should come. I'll be happy.
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's go, guys. Well, let's go now.
Bye, everybody. That's awesome. I'm sorry, now I can't think. Where are we on time? Yeah, when's that flight?
She's doing a nice job.
Okay. Or no, Brad in Toronto. So we talked about the fans, we talked about working with family. What about talking to other Star Trek actors? Has anybody walked up to you and been like, all right, look, when you do this, don't do this, blah blah blah.
Frakes is on set, so he was like, he told us all the funny, crazy stories of when they were on set, which is like really awesome, and it also like gives us perspective of while we're shooting it. Like, oh, you guys made history, like maybe we'll make a little bit of history. And yeah, research is like in the car today was like, let me tell you about this, this, and this. It's so nice to have people who have like walked this path before, because this is my first time. I can use all the guidance that I can get. And it's also like seeing people you've loved since you were a child, and that's also very cool.
If I can follow up with that actually, was that something when you were deciding whether or not to take the job that you kind of had to weigh, like the pluses and minuses of having this on your shoulders?
Like, I mean, no, I didn't. It was
Well, we're really looking forward to the ongoing journey in season 2 of Discovery, and we're so very looking forward to having you on Star Trek Online and continuing to offer fans everything that they want, which is more Trek. And it's great to have you with us on that. Al, anything else you want to share about Age of Discovery coming up?
Besides that, I just want to say thank you to these two wonderful women here. Like both of you, many of you, if you're familiar with some of my interviews, I'm a big fan of Star Trek from the very beginning. I grew up watching the original series with my sister. Grew me up on Star Trek and horror movies. So getting the opportunity to work with so many wonderful actors from the show, it's surreal, it's humbling. I never take it for granted, so I feel very blessed, and so many of them are just like you think. They're just absolutely wonderful people. So I got to know Rachel a little bit. I look forward to getting to know you better, Mary, and so it's been very powerful. And if you're never give up on your dreams, if you like to play games, if you like to draw cartoons or anime, if you like to do whatever it is, just if you don't think that your parents say, what are you going to do? You're going to play games for the rest of your life? And yeah, I'm going to play games for the rest of my life. Do what you love and follow that. And I never thought this would happen. So this is fantastic. It's an amazing opportunity to be working with these people, to be working with the writers and with the Discovery crew. So fantastic. Thank you both so much. Thank you for your work on the show. Absolutely just inspiring. We giggle all the time. I go on his podcast and talk about the show after each episode. And so it's been a great show, and it's just a great honor to have you both here. That one, but thank you both very much.
That's so sweet. Really quickly say that Reiko was my first friend on set, and I'm a huge Battlestar Galactica fan. I've watched it like so many times all the way through, and so her kindness really mattered to me because I was very scared. It's so cool to get to sit on a panel with her and also be in a video game with her. It's like it's just mind-blowing. So.
So say we all.
I'm curious before we let you go, before we wrap up. You mentioned those friendships that you develop on set. What kind of fun little things did you do to pass the time and between scenes?
I mean, well, we sing a lot. Yeah, mainly singing.
What is it? Musicals? Please say it's musicals.
Some musicals, well, especially like Mary and Jonathan and Grace are like big musical fans, but like also just like hits from the 80s.
Sing for us.
My personal favorite
Set
is
yourself up.
made-up songs too. That just whatever words or tunes that have nothing to do with anything. Just like I'm really tired.
Well, I want to remind everyone when Age of Discovery launches and when players can expect to get in the game.
So we're doing something a little different than we've done in the past, with the game. This fall launches Age of Discovery, and that's when Barry will be joining us. But the Age of Discovery doesn't end in the fall. We will continue the Age of Discovery for our anniversary, and then for our seasons that come after that. We'll be continuing to add more content and more actors from the show, and we'll continue to see more iconic locations and stories and characters, and we got to catch them all. So we're just getting started with Age of Discovery. It's going to be the forefront of Star Trek Online, and we're going to be telling Discovery stories the way, if you love our Star Trek Online stories, we're going to continue telling them the same way, the way we tell stories, but in that world. So I hope you come on that journey with us.
Captains, don't forget to visit the Star Trek Online booth in the vendors hall right across from the Roddenberry monoliths. Stop by, say hi to the development team, find out more about the game, and also get a special convention code, right? Am I right?
Yeah, if you come by the booth, you can get to celebrate our last expansion that came out in October. Wait, not October, a couple months ago. TeamSpeak 9 Victory is Life. You can give us your email, and we will give you a code for a holographic Garrett, Bashir, and Kira, bridge officer for your starship.
And of course, you can always visit StarTrekOnline.com, and for other great podcasts, visit podcasts.roddenberry.com.
What about where they can follow them?
Yeah, I was about to turn to them. Rika, Mary, where are you going to be the rest of the day?
Well, I have to check my itinerary really fast, but we're definitely doing a Discovery panel very, very soon, which I'm very excited about.
I'm not sure either, but I will definitely be back at my table. I know a bunch of people got photo ops yesterday, so we can bring those and get them signed. And I don't know, I'll be around, trying to steal Mary's silly tips.
Where they can follow you on social media.
Yes, where can they follow you on social media?
Oh, we're just trading.
Made by our artist, Henry Mondo.
The Reka Sharma, both on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, mine I made when I wasn't on a TV show, so they're really annoyingly complicated. On Twitter, I'm May_Wise. And on Instagram, I think I'm Maury Wise. M-O-R-Y. I'm sorry.
Well,
She's easy to follow.
Well, again, thank you so very much for joining us on stage today. We wish you safe travels for the rest of the convention, and we look forward to seeing you more.
I'm working on it already.
Well, we need it for both.
Sorry, didn't hear you ask.